Firstly, I believe in the technology, that it's a better way forwards, better for humanity, better for business models, better for creators, and better for you and I, the way that we can participate in this network. And it's that participation that I care about, because we can make money too. In a world where returns are not easy to come by, particularly returns that are in excess of the expansion of the central bank balance sheets, the debasement of currency, there's very few things that do it. And I know that many of you are younger, and many of you have been screwed by the system, and you had student loans, and you can't afford housing. And this is the opportunity that I think sets itself up. And I've said that in that retirement crisis video, that it's all here for everybody to participate in. It's like a gift. There's bargains everywhere if you do your homework.
Welcome back to Cryptic Crypto. Today we'd like to introduce you to Rauol, a highly respected economist and financial commentator. Rauol is the co-founder and CEO of Real Vision, a financial media company that provides in-depth analysis and interviews with some of the top economic minds in the world. He is also the co-founder of GMI, Global Macro Investor, a macroeconomic research firm that provides institutional-grade research and analysis to global client base. Rauol has a unique and refreshing perspective on the economy, and he is known for his ability to explain complex financial concepts in a way that is easy for the average person to understand. He has a large following on social media, and his insights are highly sought after by investors and market professionals. Rauol's background includes experiences such as a hedge fund manager and work with Goldman Sachs. He has deep understanding of the financial industry and has a track record of accurately predicting market movements. If you're looking for reliable and informative analysis on the economy and financial markets, be sure to stay tuned for the rest of the video. In addition, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit that notification bell to get all the latest updates. Enjoy.
This is the picture I put together in this shitty year of 2022 where prices did nothing but go down. But it's part of the space. The global monetary and liquidity cycle is why macro matters, why macro and crypto are the same thing. But underlying it is this technology that is changing the world. And it's always at this point that people say, well, how the hell is it changing the world? There's nothing going on here except scams, shitcoins, and all of that. Ignore it all. Put your fingers in your ear and focus on the bigger picture. Because the bigger picture is truly exciting to me. I think the other thing is I'm really interested how people solve UX, because UX is still terrible. I still have to call up Sergio Silva and say, how do I stake my ape? What the hell does this do? How does it work? How do I connect to this and that? And how do I get my punk into my why can't I buy it on OpenSea? Well, you can't. You have to go to their website. So why does it want to go to a random wallet? Oh, it works that way because it's a different type of contract and it goes through this centralized wallet and then goes into your wallet. Okay. Now, why can't I see it in my ledger? Well, because it can't show in a ledger because it's a different type of contract. I mean, Christ, it's difficult. So I feel, I know it's weird, but I kind of get really excited when you've had the flush out, you've taken the pain, you've got the down cycle out of the way, because then you can get optimistic about the future. Now, I didn't sell any of my assets. I didn't switch them to stable coins. I learned the lesson from the last time around. So let me explain that lesson for those of you who don't know. I was in pretty early, 2013. I wrote the first ever macroeconomic strategy paper valuing Bitcoin back then too, and bought it at $200. And I put a decent sized position in. I'm like, this is the best risk reward I've ever seen in my life. I said, I think fair value is $1 million. And let's say Raul's a total idiot by 90%. So therefore fair value is 100 grand. At $200, best risk reward I've ever seen in my entire career. So I bought it. Fucking genius. Raul, you're a god. We're going to have that halo. Amazing. I rode it up. I had a long-term time horizon, 5 to 10 years. I rode it up. It went up. It went up 5x to 1,000. I was like, I really am a god. Look at me. I'm just the best investor in the world. Then it falls 85%. I'm like, oh, well, remember the long-term picture. And that's not flipping around from being a trade to being long-term. It was long-term when I defined it and long-term as it is now. So it comes all the way back down. I kind of get a bit bored, 2014. Then 2015, it starts basing and going up again. 2016, it's going up a lot. 2017 explodes. We get the forking wars, all sorts of complications. I'd already gone through, seeing bloody everything from Mt. Gox to Bitfinex to all sorts of stuff. So I'd gone through the wars, now the forking wars, the ICO boom, all sorts of shit going on. I'm like, I don't know, I don't understand this. I'm going to take profits, 10x. And that was stupid because I actually traded against what I set the trade up to be, which was a long-term trade. Anyway, I've made 10x. Great. It went up another 10x after that. And I remember writing on Twitter, I got so much hate for selling out. And I'm like, listen, I don't mind if it goes up another 10x. I've made a lot of money in the trade. Everybody hated me. Then it collapsed. Then it collapsed down 85%, down the backside again. The monetary tightening going into 2018. 2018, much like 2022, a terrible year for assets. Everything goes down. And then eventually Bitcoin bases in November, December at the bottom of the liquidity cycle when the Fed stop easing and it starts clawing higher. I'm not looking at it. Dan Tapiero taps me on the shoulder in 2019, so you've got to focus on this. And I start to refocus and I'm watching the chart pattern and eventually pull the trigger in March, April, May, June 2020 at great levels. And off we went to the races. So I traded brilliantly. I bought it at 200. I sold it at 2,000 or 2,500, whatever it was. I bought it back at the end of a bear market, but I bought it back averaging about, 7,500, 8,000. I started at about 6,000. And then I rode it all the way back up and all the way down here. So I think I've done pretty well. And I switched to ETH right at the right point, made a lot of extra returns, huge amounts of extra returns. So I thought, Rauol, you've done a great job. And I thought, I wonder what I'd done if I just kept my initial bet in and done nothing else, never traded again. The answer, I would have done 5 times better. That was a shock to me. 5 times better. And I put massively more in June 2020 than I had in 2013. So I'm like, okay. That's what really hammered home the final lesson about long-term trends. And then I thought, well, I also know this network adoption model, and I know this logarithmic trend, and I know this monetary tightening cycle. What happens if I just added the same position every time it got here to this point in the cycle? I'd have done 25 times better. So this is why I don't trade it. So all I've been doing is letting it come down. And as soon as we've got here, I started really adding in June. And I've been adding ever since. Now, it's a recession. Nobody's got a lot of cash, and nor do I. But I'm doing what I can because, every time you get here, the upside is 10, 20, 30x, depending on what you're buying and where you are. I think 2023 will be a good year. It might be a bit volatile, but it'll be okay. And 2024 is probably really good. I'm really interested in what Reddit are doing with their digital collectibles. I know the Web3 hardcore enthusiasts hate it, but I don't, because it's the adoption of the technology at scale. And firstly, I believe in the technology, that it's a better way forwards, better for humanity, better for business models, better for creators, and better for you and I, the way that we can participate in this network. And it's that participation that I care about because we can make money too. In a world where returns are not easy to come by, particularly returns that are in excess of the expansion of the central bank balance sheets, the debasement of currency, there's very few things that do it. And I know that many of you are younger and many of you have been screwed by the system and you had student loans and you can't afford housing. And this is the opportunity that I think sets itself up. And I've said that in that retirement crisis video, that it's all here for everybody to participate in. It's like a gift. Because all of these kind of things in the past, I'm referring to, for example, the AI. Yeah, if you're a VC investor, you need to be an accredited investor. And guess what? Many VC investors, even if you are accredited, don't get a look into this stuff. You get all the shit at the end of the deal. It's all of the big investors. And who do they go to? Well, they go to the billionaire inner circle and the sovereign wealth funds and the pension plans who have the capital. You and I don't get a look in. But the crypto market's different. Yeah, I know VCs get some of this stuff into the space, but a whole bunch of tokens are trading below VC entry levels. There's bargains everywhere. if you do your homework,